Hi everyone, hope you're all well. It was lovely seeing so many of you at Celebration Assembly yesterday. Some of you haven't half shot up, haven't you? Anyway, we're back for chapter 11 of Saving Grace, and if you remember at the end of the last chapter, Sammy had been practicing his goal-keeping skills with the help of Grace, but he'd just been spotted by the Manchester United manager because he was pretending to be injured. So, chapter 11. Manchester Crocs face cup collapse. Almost at once, there was a knock at the door. Well, not a knock exactly, more like a small earthquake. Bang, bang, bang. "I think he wants to come in," said Grace in a quiet voice. "I think you ought to open the door before he bashes it down." So I did open the door. "Oh, Mr. Pace, what a nice surprise," I said. It looked to me as if steam was coming out of his nostrils. "You're supposed to be ill, Swift," he bellowed. "I've come round here to see how you are, and I find you leaping all over the place like a monkey." "Well, What's going on?" "I'm feeling a little better, Mr. Pace." You'll be feeling a lot worse if I get my hands on you. Now get yourself to the ground tomorrow morning at 9, sharp." "Yes, Mr. Pace, of course." And he was gone. He slammed the front gate, and the fences 2 doors away quivered with the shock. So did I. I was quivering all over. I began to feel ill, really ill. But of course, it was no good being ill now. George Pace just wouldn't believe me. "Don't worry," said Grace. You'll be good. You've had lots of practice. I'm sure you'll be just fine." I tried not to worry, but it didn't work. The more I tried, the more I seemed to worry, and the more I worried, the more I quivered. I quivered at the thought of making a fool of myself. I quivered at the thought of standing in the goal while Brian Bovis fired footballs at me like rockets. And I quivered at the thought of George Pace. I thought he might make mincemeat out of me. At 9 o'clock next morning, I was back in the Manchester changing room, lacing up my boots with trembling fingers. Brian Bovis came in and gave me a friendly wave. "Hello, Sammy. Feeling better?" "Yes, thanks," I answered, feeling very much worse. He tossed me the goalie's shirt, and I dropped it. The door crashed open and George Pace stood there. He had a weird expression on his face. I think it was a smile. Well, it's our little friend Sammy Swift," he said. "All ready to go, I hope?" I was too nervous to answer, so I nodded. For some reason, he was in a peculiar jolly mood. Almost friendly, as if he wanted to keep me happy. On the way down to the pitch, I found out why. Brian told me that Manchester's first choice goalie, Wayne Catt, was unable to play in the next game. "Is he injured?" I asked. "No," said Brian. "I think he's run away. He got fed up with Mr. Pace flying into a temper every time he let a goal in. So that meant that George Legg, the second choice goalie, would be ready to play in the next game. And the next game was the big cup match." "Oh no," said Brian. "Gary's injured." I could imagine that. Injured in training, probably, like I was about to be. "No," said Brian. "He dropped his dinner on his foot." So that meant that it would be Kevin Grubber, the third choice goalie. "No," said Brian. "Kevin's got the measles. He must have caught it from you." "But he can't have done," I protested. "I never had the..." "Never had the what?" asked Brian. "Oh, nothing," I said, suddenly remembering that actually I'd said I'd had the measles when I was pretending to be ill. If they're all not able to play, that means... "No," said Brian, "there isn't a fourth choice goalie, not a proper one anyway. Well, except for you, of course." "Me?" "Yes, that's why Mr. Pace is being so friendly. I think you're playing in the cup." "What?" "You're in the cup for the cup match," said Brian with a smile. "Ah!" I answered. I thought you'd be pleased, Brian went on. Should be a good game. 30,000 people and all the television cameras. Ah! I said again. Nothing to worry about, he laughed, as long as you don't let a goal in, of course. The time had come to have a serious word with Mr. Pace. So, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder if Mr. Pace is just going to let him not play the next game, as it's such an important one. So that's the end of chapter 11, sorry. So chapter 12 will be coming very soon. In the meantime, have a nice weekend. Make the most of this sun. It's beautiful again, isn't it? And I'll be back in touch. Bye.